I got a new weed eater. This is the Husqvarna 128 LD. I got it at Lowe's. And I may do a review on it once I've had it for a while and have an opinion. I just got it and I used it some this morning, but so far I don't have an opinion yet. But that is not what this video is about. What this video is about is I'm going on a trip. In the Marine Corps and the Navy, they called it TAD, temporary assigned duty. But I work for the Air Force now, and they call it TDY, which I guess means temporary duty. Don't ask me. Anyway, I've got to go on a trip up to Fort Meade, Maryland. I'm going to drive, and I thought I'd bring you along with me on not so much the journey as the preparation for the journey. What with COVID and with all the unrest going on in the major cities, that is playing a part in how I prepare for this trip. Now, as I said, I'm going to be driving. I haven't picked up my rental car yet, but I'm going to go ahead and go through the stuff that I always carry in my daily driver and pull some stuff out that I want to put into the rental car. Probably not everything. I mean, there's some things in there like light bulbs and things that are specific to the Corolla, but there will be some things that I will pull out and put into the rental car, because if you're driving, 900, 1,000 miles away, you want to be ready regardless of whether it's a rental car or your car or whatever, right? And then I'm also going to go through this, which is my get home kit, and I'm going to make an abbreviated version of it to take with me. And I know that sounds kind of backwards. I'm going 1,000 miles away, which is much more than my daily drive, but I'm going to make an abbreviated version of my get home kit. That's going to take some thoughtful planning. So let's do it. As for the vehicle items that I normally keep in my daily driver, I'm going to take with me the road flares, some tire sealant, inflator, and I'm going to take this old ham radio I have, not ham radio, CB radio that I have. It has a weather band. I'm just going to take it with me. I debated over that one, but I'm going to take it. This is a e-tool. I'm going to take that. And then several just generic tools, along with my Leatherman. Rental cars don't usually have problems, but just in case there's a hose or something like that, that ought to take care of it. And then the jumper cables. And one thing I like to do when I get a rental car is treat the windshield with some Rain-X, and that's what these little wipes are great for. So that's what I'm going to take with me from my daily driver kind of emergency roadside maintenance conglomeration. Now let's look at the get home kit and see what we're going to take out of it on our trip. And let's see if there's anything we need to add, being that this is a much different trip. Well, right off the bat, we see that my get home kit has a color scheme or narrative of woodland camouflage. And if you're one of my 5 faithful subscribers, you know why that is. My get home from work would be through the Eglin Reserve and through almost all woods. And I decided that woodland would be the best way to go. Even though it's not the authorized camouflage of the Army or the Air Force who use the area that I'm going to be traveling through, quite a few of the special operators do still use woodland, and they do still use it around here. I know because I see them. The Ranger Training Battalion, which is very active in our area, they still use woodland quite a bit, and the special tactics guys from AFSOC, which is where I work, they still use them also. So even though it's more than okay to use here, and very well received here, and works really well in this environment, this is not the route I'm going to go for my TDY Get Home Kit. Instead, I'm going to go with this bag. This is just a simple black backpack. I'm not even sure the brand. It's Condor. It's Condor backpack, and it's got quite a bit of MOLLE, and I've added several pouches here. There's a good sized pouch here and one on either side. And here's the reasons why I picked it. First of all, and we could sit here all day and talk about all the scenarios of a get home plan for coming from Fort Meade, Maryland, back to Florida, and none of them excite me. They keep me up at night. But one thing we know is a big pack's not gonna do. So the fact that I can add these pack pouches to get more out of it, or I can take them away, really makes me happy. Now I've got some gray packs, and I considered those, but I think we're going to go with black. I'll leave it to you why black right now would be a good choice. But this pack's going to serve the purpose of being my get home pack, and it's also going to be my daily pack while I'm in the school that I'll be attending. So that's what we're going with, a black backpack with a lot of ability to add to it. And also notice that it's got pretty good suspension, pretty good belt, which by the way, this belt comes off and turns into a pretty good battle belt. But you can probably carry more weight than you ought to with this suspension system. That's always a plus. So the black pack has a hydration sleeve, and I'll probably take a hydration pouch with me. So this, out of my normal daily driver, is going to go. I may move this pouch into that pack, or I may grab another one, but this is going to stay home. The homemade canteens, the Gatorade bottles that I love so much, they'll be staying home, and I'll go with something a little more unsuspicious, such as an Algene bottle and just a simple metal cup. Looking at the contents of the outer pockets, I won't be taking the snake bite kit. That is not going to be as big a concern in the grand scheme of things as it would have been going through the swamp of Eglin Reserve. However, I will be taking gloves, definitely take my headlight kit, and you know, my dog sticker, I think I'm going to take it with me. That still comes in handy, and there's lots of dogs between here and Maryland. I'm going to go ahead and take my Gore-Tex rain hat, black, and that takes care of the contents of the outer pockets. Looking now at the contents of the main pack, my woodland camouflage outfit that I planned on wearing in a get home situation from work, it's going to go back into the stay home pile. Now this long sleeve Marine Corps t-shirt, lightweight, quick dry t-shirt, you know, I'm going to hold on to that because that's just a good thing to have no matter what. As are the good extra pair of socks. I'm going to hold on to them. And this is a woodland poncho, and you know, I'm seriously considering holding on to that. A poncho comes in handy no matter where you are, and who knows, if I end up somewhere where there are some woods, that can help camouflage the whole ensemble, can it? Which leaves us with med and food. Nothing's going to change here. I'm taking all this stuff with me. This is a fairly good little med kit. It's heavy on the blister, foot injury kind of thing. It's heavy on the keeping the raw skin going. It's heavy on anti-diarrheal. And likewise, so is the food kit, really heavy on hydration. If you are one of my 5 faithfuls, you'll know that, or you'll remember that when I last pared down my Get Home kit, I got rid of a lot of food. I realized that my Get Home was going to be a 2-day thing, 3 at worst, and all I had to do was feed the machine. And I replaced a lot of nutrition bars and stuff like that with just 1 jar of crunchy peanut butter and some energy stuff, you know, some sucky sweets and plenty of hot wets and lots of hydration. And now we come to the real heartbreaker. I don't know that I'll be taking the chest rig. It just stands out, and if you're wearing it, it looks like you're up to something. You know, in the scenario, the Get Home scenario that I have here, you know, going through the reserve, even if you're seen, you know, my whole contention was always that I would look like I was training, because that's how those guys dress. But I just can't see this. So I'm going to have to take the contents out and find another way of carrying them. And man, I hate that because I love a chest rig. I just do. So what was in the chest rig? Well, my pocket escape and evasion kit, which I've covered before, a camouflage head net, some land nav stuff, my Leatherman Super Tool 300, a camouflage scarf, sweat doohickey, some water purification, and some diarrheal and Benadryl. And those were just things I wanted to have easy to get to, and also, should I become separated from my gear, I would have those still on my body because the chest rig didn't leave me. And there was a pouch ready for either the headlamp or the small binoculars that I carry in my car. Now the super tool I'm going to leave because I have a super tool that'll be going with me, my normal everyday work super tool. And the rest of the stuff, I probably won't take these just because the kind of land nav I would be doing would not be that fine, and the maps I would be using would be either from my phone or from my atlas. But the rest of it I'll take. I mean, you never know when that can come in handy. The rest of it I'll take, but I'm just going to have another way of carrying it, and it just breaks my heart to not have a chest rig. It really does. Going through some of my other gear, I'm adding a couple of pieces. First of all, my tried and true watch with a little silver wrist compass. I don't usually wear a watch, but I think it's a good idea to have in your Get Home kit. Some monkey butt powder. I had some of the paste version in my Get Home kit, but it's a good thing to have on a longer expedition. And you may have noticed that in my regular Get Home kit, I just have the tablets for treating water. And if you're in a hurry and you don't care about the taste, you got some Gatorade to mask the flavor, that's fine. But in a longer scenario, I think it's a good idea to have some other water purification. And also in my regular Get Home kit, I rely on my Super Tool 300 to cut any wire or fences. But I'm going to carry these heavy-duty wire cutters with me. And then looking back at the at the emergency kit for the car. I'm going to throw in this vest. I have road flares, but if you do have to change a tire or do anything on the side of the road, it's a good idea to identify yourself as well as possible to the idiots that'll be passing you, hopefully passing you. So another thing that I'm considering is my route. And I've decided that I'm going to take the route in blue. It's a little bit farther, but as you can see, it avoids Atlanta and some of the other major cities. It goes up through the mountains, follows the Appalachian Mountains, and it's not as fast as it looks here. I mean, according to this, it's 15 hours, 41 minutes. I think it's probably about another hour longer than that. But that's the route I'm going to take. I just want to stay as in the smaller cities and in the country as much as possible. Hey, thanks for bearing with me on this video. I don't know if I'll do any others as I get ready to go. If I think of something interesting to talk about, I will. But if you find yourself having to travel during this this weird time, think it through before you go. Think of all the possibilities and plan ahead.